20 ਜਨਵਰੀ 2021 ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਲੋਕਤੰਤਰਿਕ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਸੱਤਾ ਦਾ ਅਹਿਮ ਦਿਨ, ਜਿਸ ਦਿਨ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਦੇ ਅਹੁਦੇ ਦੀ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਅਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਵਿਵਾਦਾਂ 'ਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਟਰੰਪ ਵਾਈਟ ਹਾਊਸ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਅਲਵਿਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ 46ਵਾਂ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ।
Not a word that was used very often over the past 4 years. I think it will be used a lot beginning today, because whatever your politics watching at home or around the world, Joe Biden respects government. He respects people who disagree with him. He listens to them. He does not chainsaw them on Twitter. He respects that building where he will take the oath. For 37 years as a United States Senator, that was his home, that was his office. Again, he's about to walk into it as the president-elect and to leave it as the president of the United States. What a testament to his personal resilience. Again, whether you agree or disagree with his politics, twice to lose runs for the president. All the personal tragedy in his life, and today he will take the oath of office as the president of the United States. A man who, every time he's been knocked down, has gotten up and got back into the fight. You have to respect that, to come back to that word. It's a majestic day. It always has been, and it always should be. And just because of, in the middle of a pandemic, 2 weeks after the government was attacked, at the inspiration of the sitting president of the United States, it's all the more so. And back to Jamie Gangel's point, President Bush is happy today to be there as a Republican. Even Mitch McConnell, who was with President Trump for most of the last 4 years, in recent days has made it pretty clear he wants to shove President Trump to the sidelines if he can, to be part of the Republicans trying to do that. And so there's a cleansing, there's an air of cleansing about today. There's an internal fight in the Republican Party about President Trump, soon to be former President Trump, that's going to continue. But today is an American celebration, and again, a testament to voting, a testament to the system, and a testament to the resilience and stubbornness, Irish stubbornness, is Joe Biden.
There you see the Biden motorcade driving closer and closer to the Capitol, driving right by all the U.S. National Guard troops who have emerged on Washington, D.C., some 25,000.
ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ 46ਵੇਂ ਅਮਰੀਕੀ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਸੱਤਾ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਲਈ ਹੈ। ਚੀਫ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਜੌਨ ਸੀ ਰੋਬਰਟਸ ਜੂਨੀਅਰ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁਕਾਈ। ਆਪਣੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਰੋਹ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਰੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦਾ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਬਣਿਆ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਅਮਰੀਕੀ ਨਾਗਰਿਕ ਦੀ ਬਿਹਤਰੀ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਂ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਏਕਤਾ ਤੇ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ।
Putting his soul into his first address, calling for Americans to end what he's calling their uncivil war that pits red versus blue, speaking us to treat each other with dignity and respect. Jake, this was an address like no other, on Inauguration Day like no other, where the nation saw its first woman vice president and women of color sworn in, and the world witnessed democracy withstand one of its greatest tests.
Absolutely, Wolf. 2 weeks after that very same site was desecrated by and in fact the world was treated to a beautiful demonstration of the steadfastness of that democracy. An inaugural full of incredible moments. We saw the exquisite eloquence of the youngest inaugural poet of all time, Amanda Gorman. We saw musical and heard musical performances by Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez and Garth Brooks. We saw the oath of office by the first female vice president of the United States ever, Vice President Kamala Harris. And then most importantly, of course, we saw the steely determination and compassion of President Joe Biden, who called for unity, he called for empathy, he asked for those who did not vote for him to hear him out. He had a moment of silence in honor of all those lost to the coronavirus. And he also took a moment to denounce problems that he sees in society, problems that I have never heard denounced in such a way during inauguration. White supremacy, he called out, the corrosive belief and toxic belief of that bigotry. And he also talked about the challenge of lies and facts that are manipulated, which is also a corrosive element of society, a corrosive force that right now poses political challenges. It was a very spectacular inaugural in some ways, and it was also a very somber and serious one.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਮਾਂ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਇੱਕ ਔਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੱਲ ਲਿਜਾਣਾ ਪਵੇਗਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਲਦ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਚੰਗਾ ਕਰ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਾਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਈਏ। ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਦਸਤਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਲਾਘਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ।
Growing inequity, the sting of systemic racism, the climate in crisis, America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once, presenting this nation with one of the gravest responsibilities we've had. Now we're going to be tested. Are we going to step up? All of us? It's time for boldness. For there's so much to do. And this is certain. I promise you, we will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. We will rise to the occasion is the question. Will we master this rare and difficult hour? Will we meet our obligations and pass along a new and better world to our children? I believe we must. I'm sure you do as well. I believe we will. And when we do, we'll write the next great chapter in the history of the United States of America, the American story. A story that might sound something like a song that means a lot to me. It's called American Anthem. There's one verse that stands out, at least for me, and it goes like this. The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you. Let's us add our own work and prayers to the unfolding story of our great nation. If we do this, then when our days are through, our children and our children's children will say of us, they gave their best, they did their duty, they healed a broken land. My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you. I will defend the Constitution. I'll defend our democracy. I'll defend America. And I'll give all of you, keep everything I do in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together we shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answer the call of history. We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die in our watch but thrived. That America secured liberty at home and stood once again as a beacon to the world. That is what we owe our forebears, one another, and generation to follow. So, with purpose and resolve, we turn to those tasks of our time, sustained by faith, driven by conviction, devoted to one another and the country we love with all our hearts. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਤੇ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਕਮਲਾ ਹੈਰਿਸ ਦੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਮੌਕੇ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਕਰਕੇ ਆਮ ਜਨਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਰੱਖੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ VIP ਲੀਡਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੱਦਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਸਾਬਕਾ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜਾਰਜ W. ਬੁਸ਼ ਜੂਨੀਅਰ, ਬਰਾਕ ਓਬਾਮਾ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਬਕਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਮਿਸ਼ੇਲ ਓਬਾਮਾ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਦੀ ਤਾਜਪੋਸ਼ੀ ਸਮਾਰੋਹ ਲਈ US ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਨ।
Requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. Unity. In another January, on New Year's Day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history, it'll be for this act, and my whole soul is in it." My whole soul is in it. Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this. Bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make healthcare secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world. I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all are created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. And we can do that now. History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America. If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed in America. We've acted together. And so today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh. All of us. Let's begin to listen to one another again. Hear one another. See one another. Show respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war. And we must reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured.
Inaugural stage, the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala David Harris, do solemnly swear
Kamala David Harris, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
ਸਾਬਕਾ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਬਿਲ ਕਲਿੰਟਨ ਅਤੇ 2016 ਵਿੱਚ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਅਹੁਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਹਿਲੇਰੀ ਕਲਿੰਟਨ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਸਮਾਰੋਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ। ਟਰੰਪ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਰਹੇ ਮਾਈਕ ਪੈਂਸ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਤਨੀ ਕੈਰਨ ਪੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਸਮਾਰੋਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ।
United States, office of President of the United States, and will to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Constitution of the United States. So help you God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Hey, congratulations.
Great privilege and high honor to be the first person to officially introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden Jr.
Chief Justice Roberts, Vice President Harris, Speaker Pelosi, Leader Schumer, Leader McConnell, Vice President Pence, my distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. This is America's day. This is democracy's day. A day of history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause. the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile. And at this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed. So now, on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation, we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power as we have for more than 2 centuries. As we look ahead in our uniquely American way, restless, bold, optimistic, and set our sights on the nation we know we can be and we must be. I thank my predecessors of both parties for their presence here today. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And I know the resilience of our Constitution and the strength of our nation, as does President Carter, who I spoke with last night, who cannot be with us today, but whom we salute for his lifetime of service. I've just taken a sacred oath each of those patriots have taken. The oath first sworn by George Washington. But the American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we the people who seek a more perfect union. This is a great nation. We're good people. And over the centuries, through storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far, but we still have far to go. We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found a time more challenging or difficult than the time we're in now. Once-in-a-century virus that silently stalks the country has taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years been making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. The cry for survival comes from the planet itself. A cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat. To overcome these challenges, to restore the soul and secure the future of America.
ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਰਿਪਬਲਿਕਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਦੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਰਹੇ।
Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਗਾਇਕਾ ਲੇਡੀ ਗਾਗਾ ਜੈਨੀਫਰ ਲੋਪਸ ਨੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦਾ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਗੀਤ ਗਾਇਆ।
To This land was made for you and me. As I went walking down that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. You and me. From sea to shining sea. Una nación bajo Dios indivisible con libertad y justicia para todos. Let's get it This land was made for you Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Sing us that star-spangled banner wave. On land of the free and the
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the city of Ladies and gentlemen, here for the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band, please welcome Lady Gaga.
ਜ਼ਿਕਰਯੋਗ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਨੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਚੋਣਾਂ 'ਚ ਰਿਪਬਲਿਕਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦੂਜੀ ਵਾਰ ਚੋਣ ਲੜੇ ਡੋਨਾਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਨੂੰ ਭਾਰੀ ਫਰਕ ਨਾਲ ਹਰਾਇਆ ਸੀ।
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. and Dr. Jill Biden.
(1992) ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਰਜ H.W. ਬੁਸ਼ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੂਜੇ ਕਾਰਜਕਾਲ ਲਈ ਚੋਣ ਹਾਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਟਰੰਪ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਸਨ। 78 ਸਾਲਾ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 50 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀ ਰਾਜਧਾਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਗਰਮ ਨੇ। ਉਹ ਬਰਾਕ ਓਬਾਮਾ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਜਕਾਲ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਸੰਯੁਕਤ ਰਾਜ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਵੀ ਰਹਿ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ।
Mr. President-elect, Madam Vice President-elect, members of Congress and the judicial branch, former presidents and first ladies, vice presidents, leaders from abroad, and a whole bunch of Bidens. America, welcome to the 59th presidential inauguration, where in just a few moments, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will take their solemn oaths. This ceremony is the culmination of 244 years of a democracy. It is the moment when leaders brought to this stage by the will of the people promised to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish it and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, guardians of our country.
ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਦੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ। 1869 ਵਿੱਚ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ 17ਵੇਂ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਐਂਡਰਿਊ ਜੌਨਸਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਟਰੰਪ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਰਹੇ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤਰਾਧਿਕਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ। ਸੱਤਾ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀਪੂਰਵਕ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਦੇ ਸਮਰਥਨ ਵਜੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤਰਾਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉਦਘਾਟਨ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਵਾਇਤੀ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਸ਼ਿਰਕਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਬਕਾ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਓਬਾਮਾ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਉਪ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਟਰੰਪ ਦੇ ਸਹੁੰ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਸਨ।
In the middle of a pandemic, with an economy bleeding jobs, a country so divided that supporters of the former president, soon to be former president, attacked that building 2 weeks ago today. Just a remarkable moment, the weight of the presidency about to pass onto Joe Biden.
Anastos is with us, the Biden biographer. This must be so moving, so exceptional for this man.
Here he is, 48 years after he entered this. He's now going to be the oldest president of the United States, facing enormous challenges. And I'm reminded of what he said in 2008 at the Democratic National Convention. He said, failure at some point in life is inevitable, but giving up is unforgivable. And that has indeed been the text of his life, and it has led him